Well, hello, happy Monday, and welcome to your Monday morning Metamorphosis moment. Thank you so much for joining me right here every Monday morning, where we do this for 15 minutes at 8 a.m. Eastern. And I want to first thank everyone that's joining. I want to shout out my replay viewers. Thank you so much for watching. Watch until the end. Today, I'm asking the question, did you abort your process and end up how you weren't supposed to be? Did you abort your metamorphosis process? And you can see that I'm fanning. I've got an elephant, but the elephant has butterfly ears. This person right here aborted their metamorphosis process. And we're going to talk about your process today. So again, I want to thank everybody for joining. Let me just quickly introduce myself and then we're going to get underway. I am Andrea T. Martin. I am a life discovery expert. I am a motivational speaker and coach. And I help, my clients are women with a painful past. I help them break free from it so that they can get clarity on their purpose, get clarity on who they are, so that they can boldly move forward in life. But you can't do that if you abort the metamorphosis process that God is trying to take you through. And that's what we're going to talk about today. This video is dedicated to my clients today who are today going through my coaching program called the Cocoon Experience. They have just finished modules 1 and 2. The first module 1 was breaking the power of the past. And then module 2 was knowing how to handle obstacles and challenges when they arise in life so that you won't get stuck again and have to start all over. This is dedicated to you because I know that this has not been an easy process. And when something doesn't feel good to us, and it's painful, we tend to give up on the process. Hey, Hope, good morning. Thanks for joining. And so God is trying to take us through a process, but when that process doesn't feel good, we give up on the process. So again, this video is dedicated to my clients, but it's also dedicated to each one of you that are joining, whether you're live or via the replay. You can see that I'm holding an elephant that's got butterfly ears. This person aborted the process and they came out jacked up. They are elephant with butterfly ears. And so what I want you to know, first of all, happy spring. You know, spring is in the air. Things are blooming. Things are blossoming. Good morning, Sunita. Thanks for joining. But what happened during the process? What did you come out as? When you came out of your process, did you come out thinking or looking what you expected to look like? Or did you come out messed up like this, an elephant with butterfly ears? I don't know. Because again, when you go through your metamorphosis process, when you go through the process, it doesn't always feel good. And so the purpose of today's video is to encourage you, don't abort the process. Don't abort your metamorphosis process. You've got to go through the process even when it doesn't feel good. Allow God to take you through the process that you need to go through so that you can emerge on the other end and not end up looking like this, but end up being who God called you to be. Again, it's the first day of spring, and things are going to start to bloom. But when you bloom, are you going to bloom as a flower or are you going to bloom as a weed because you didn't go through the process? Are you going to come out as a moth and not a butterfly because you didn't go through the process? Now, Andrea, what do you mean when you talk about the process? I'm glad you asked. When I talk about the process, what I want you to first recognize is that if you have a past that you need to deal with, if you've got some issues that you need to deal with, you need to start to deal with those issues head on. No matter what your issue is, you need to deal with it, learn from it, grow from it. And so let me just quickly give you 3 P's. The first P is purpose. There is a purpose for your process. You must go through the process, and that includes dealing with your pain. Do not abort your process because there is a purpose for your process. In order for you to grow, in order for you to learn, in order for you to get and be who God has designed you to be, in order so that you don't come out looking like this, so that you don't abort the process. There is a purpose, and the purpose for the process, good morning, AP Amy, thanks for joining, and the purpose for the process is for you to grow so that you can move forward and be who God has called you to be. And you can't, if you don't go through the process the way that God intends for you to go through it, if you try to take a shortcut, if you try to do it your way instead of doing it God's way, if you say, I don't want to deal with that issue because that hurts, you're aborting the process, and you're going to come out jacked up looking like this elephant with the butterfly wings, or ears, I should say. You can't afford to abort the process. You must go through the process that God is taking you through. You know, I went to the chiropractor with my daughter the other day, and he cracked and, moved her all around. And he said, listen, this is going to hurt in the beginning, but eventually you're going to feel better. And that's how it is with the process that God takes us through. We got to deal with those painful issues, our broken heart, our fear, our procrastination, our painful past, our mistakes, our failures. We've got to grow through them and learn from them so that you can come out and emerge and be who God designed you to be. So always remember that even though it can be painful, there is a purpose for this process that God is walking you through, and you just got to walk it out and go through the process. Next, I want to talk about power. There is power in your process, because when God takes you through your process, you take your power back. You've given your power to people. They hold your past over you. You've given your power away. It's time for you to take your power back. Get your power back. Remember that God has given you power to endure and go through the process. This process is going to cause you to gain strength. This process is going to cause you to gain wisdom. This process, you're going to be so much better because of this process. You got to take your power back and go through the process. So there's power in the process, because again, we don't want to come out looking jacked up like this. Thanks, Anita. You like my picture? I saw this picture as I was doing some research, and I said, oh my God, how many of us have tried to go through the process that God has taken us through, and we've messed up? We tried to do it our own way, or we cut the process off and came out jacked up. And we wasted a lot of time. We lost time instead of going through the process and allowing God to bring us through. So again, there's a purpose for the process. There's power in the process, but there's also a promise from the process. That's the last one, a promise for the process. Because what I can assure you is that if you will go through this process that God is taking you through, you won't come out looking like this. You will come out being and doing what God has called you to do. There is a promise. You can live life to the fullest. You can be who God called you to be in spite of. You will be happy and fulfilled. You will not just go through the motions, but you will be living life with joy and happiness. There's a promise to the process. There's also a promise that life is not always going to be easy. But if you can endure the process, when that next thing comes up, you can say, come on, I got this. I'm going through the process because I know what's on the other side of the process. There is a promise in this process, but you've got to endure to the end. You cannot afford to abort your process and come out jacked up. So I want to encourage you today. It's the first day of spring. What did you come out? What did you bloom as? Did you come out as a weed or a flower? Did you come out as a butterfly or a moth? Did you come out as a butterfly or this elephant? I want you to do a self-inventory, and I want you to review the things that you have been doing, the things that you have been focused on. Have you been going through the process? That's right, Hope. Get it, sis. Get it. Catch it. As I heard my dear friend Tiana say, catch it. Get it, because you got to, but this is something you got to decide for yourself. Did you abort your process, or did you go through the process and come out to be the beautiful butterfly that God designed you to be? That's a question that only you and God can answer. But you must go through. There is a purpose for the process. There is power in the process. And there is a promise for the process. You've got to go through the process. That's right. Spring forward. So I want to encourage you all. Do not abort your process. Even when it doesn't feel good. Even when you've thrown in the towel and given up on the process. Get back up and get back in the cocoon and allow God to take you through the process. Yes, I have clients that are right now going through the cocoon experience. They are breaking the power of the past. They're learning how to deal with life as it hits them. And this week, we're going to be working on discovering who they really are, discovering who God created them to be. But for some of them, the first modules in the process, it was difficult for them. It wasn't easy. And so I want to encourage you that no matter what your process is, you You cannot afford to abort the process, even when it's painful. You got to give it all over and surrender and say, God, I allow you to work on me, to give me my beautiful butterfly wings. You've got to go through the process. Don't abort the process, even when it doesn't feel good. You know, God's working on your heart. God, don't touch that part of my heart. That's the part that's broken. That's the part that hurts. You can't touch that, but you can work over here. No, that's not how it works. You have to give God full control to bring you through the process so that you don't come out jacked up. It's my little fan, but it's my elephant with butterfly wings. He jacked up. And listen, he got this heavy body on him. He got wings, but he can't even soar. He got too much junk in the trunk. He can't soar. He can't go up and go after his dreams. He's too heavy. He's got too many burdens, too many issues with him. He cannot soar in the state that he is in. He's half done. And premature butterflies can't fly. And butterflies that are carrying too much weight can't fly. So you need to release some stuff, but you also need to grow through the process. So again, don't abort the process. He can't soar. He can't go after his dreams. He can't go after his destiny. He's too heavy. That's right. He's got to release the weight. He got too much junk in the trunk. He got too many issues, too much pain from the past, too many obstacles, too much fear and procrastination, too much bitterness and resentment. He can't soar and go anywhere. He can't go after his dreams. And then also, if you abort the process, you become premature. And you can't soar. Premature butterflies can't soar. They can't soar. So go through the process, whatever your process is that God has taken you through. Don't abort the process. And remember that there is purpose in the process, there is power in the process, and there is promise in the process. And give God the permission, that's right, to work on you so that you can be who God designed you to be. Now listen, that wasn't my usual where I give you 5 tips and takeaways, because this was heavy on my heart when I saw that picture of the elephant with the butterfly wings. And so I just want to encourage you to not give up. If you've given up, get back into your cocoon and allow God to take you through the process. I really just wanted to share from my heart today, because the metamorphosis process is so important. You can't afford to give up on it. So again, don't abort the process. Thanks for joining me again. I'm Andrea T. Martin, life discovery expert, motivational speaker, and a coach. And connect with me. Get on my email list. Inbox me if you're interested in the cocoon experience. These ladies are moving forward. One lady has released her past and she's working on herself. She's hosting her first event. Another lady is now coming out. She's so used to being by herself and just doing things alone, and she now has a community within the Butterfly Society. That's what my community is called. Connect with me. But most importantly, if you don't hear anything else that I say today, don't abort your process. All right? Go make it a great week, beautiful butterflies, and I'll see you right back here next week. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.